Now, there's that common line that every dark cloud has a silver lining. Our entrepreneur today went through a fairly tough time. And it's out of this reality that she managed to come up with a business idea. This is her story.
Kamigisha, a fruit juice entrepreneur, narrates how she started her juice business from a recommendation of health booster from her doctor.
How Kemi Juice started, it was out of a need for healthy juices. I have always loved healthy juices, but when COVID came in, the fact that we were all at home, so I started doing juices from home. So my neighbors started telling me that you can make for us juices. So actually that's how we started. But after COVID, I also got a scare of high blood pressure. And I used to see on YouTube where people had lowered their pressure through healthy juicing. So that actually pushed me to read more about juices. YouTube was my friend, so I used YouTube to look at those videos, what flavors actually bring down the pressure. So I started because I had already got a diagnosis for that I had high blood pressure. So I didn't want to stay on medication for long. So I started juicing alongside taking the medication. So actually after 1 month, my doctor kept telling me that my pressure was going down, and he kept encouraging me, do what you're doing. So this increased my passion for juicing. So by the end of the 6th month on medication, my pressure was down, and then I stopped taking the medication. So this pushed me more to continue juicing and telling people what juicing had done for me.
She has managed to juggle between work and business, keeping her eyes on the corporate groups.
I mainly target the corporate group, the people who are always in offices, who don't have time to make the juices. I'm still also employed, but I get time to do the juices. So I mainly target the people who work in offices. I target people who are in organizations, actually the busy corporate people who want to eat healthy, but they don't have the time.
Now, this is how she sources her raw materials.
The fact that we use natural fruits and vegetables, our local markets have actually been very helpful, although now we are establishing contacts with some farmers. So I mainly source my fruits and vegetables from Nakasero market. I already have contacts there. And then I also use Nakawa. Nakawa, they supply me the fruits, mostly the pineapples, the mangoes. And then for Nakasero, I go there to get those rare fruits where you want kiwi, where you want the apples, which you can easily find. So mainly it's the local markets. But we are also looking at getting contact with the local farmers so that when the demand is overwhelming, then we can source directly from the farmers.
These are some of the values she follows to thrive in her business.
We don't use any artificial sweeteners. Our tagline is nature's freshness. We make sure that the juices that we give our customers are fresh, because we know fresh juices have a shelf life of very short time, between actually 3 to 4 days. So the moment we get the order from the customer, that's when we make the juices. So one of our core values is to ensure that we give quality fresh juice. And the next thing is we don't add any additives. Where everyone is saying, I want sweet juice, I don't want the bitter juice, we go ahead to explain why our juices are natural. Yes, you will get the sweetness when we add in more of pineapples, when we add in more of mangoes, but it will still stay natural. So what makes us, what our core values are quality juices, fresh, and then natural. It's all about organic.
Ever since she started this business, she has been able to tick a number of boxes.
We registered with Bureau of Standards. We are looking National Registration Bureau. We are registered. So that is one of our achievements, to know that you're dealing with a registered brand. Then we have also grown. Our market has grown. The delivery times have improved. And the offices that we supply to, since the corporate people are our target audience, We supply to the big organizations. They have got to know our juices. And then those customers who have functions and they still want natural organic, they have also contacted us.
As it is with all businesses, Kemigisha's business also had to scale a number of challenges.
Currently, the challenges we get is scarcity. Some fruits the customers want are not readily available then in the market. Then some are in season. If they are off season, you can't get them. And then, of course, the power fluctuations. You have an order and then power goes. So it has kind of affected us. And the fact that our juices have a short shelf life, we actually need a constant supply of power. But other than that, we are happy with the progress.
On Money and Markets, we're committed to sharing with you tips on how you can make money, grow it, and keep it. Because we understand that's one thing to actually make the money, but another to actually see that money grow and expand. But then also, ultimately, it's another to keep that money throughout generations. Now, that's how you create wealth.
The advice that I have for the youth, especially in Uganda, when it comes to business or even real estate, either in Uganda or abroad, is make sure you do your due diligence. Don't buy property without a lawyer. Don't buy property that doesn't have a title. Always make sure that when it comes to paperwork, there's a paper trail. The most important thing, especially having a lawyer that's part of this transaction, is they'll do a title search. They'll look at the title and they'll go back 50 years just to make sure that the person who's selling you the property actually owns it.
And Rent Better, our goal is to make sure that whether you're a landlord or tenant, you never miss a rent payment ever again. We make it easy for people to pay their rent and much easier for even the landlords to collect their rent in time always. So what we noticed was a problem is, of course, rent is a huge burden for most people. If you've ever rented, you know that it is a big struggle. And we realized that one of the biggest causes of that struggle is the way rent is collected, the way people want us to pay rent doesn't match with how the majority of the people earn their money. We are in an economy which is highly informal. We are in a gig economy. People are doing side businesses, side deals. So you find you're earning money daily. You find some money coming here, some money coming there. Putting it together for you to pay the landlord at the end of the month becomes a struggle. First of all, our saving culture is not that deep. It's not that great. But landlords need that lump sum at once. You cannot be there and say, landlord, today I have 50K, today I have 10K, and they accept. They will not agree with that. So that's where we decided to create Rent Better, a platform or an application which can allow you to be depositing or be paying your rent in those small micro installments. So let's say today you did something and you earned 10K. You can put that 3,000 towards your rent. Generally, a landlord will not accept that 3,000. But remember, if you put that 3,000 every day, or you put that 10,000 every day, or 20 or 50,000 every day towards your rent, at the end of the month, the burden is greatly reduced. Most people would say, what if I put that money to the bank account? And it's different, because if the money is on your bank account and tomorrow you have an emergency or you have a problem, you're going to go there and get that money. But with Rent Better now, you will not. That money is specifically for rent. That's the whole point. You're not going to touch that money, but only towards paying your landlord. So your landlord is going to receive a lump sum at the end of the month. As simple as that. So how it works basically is you download the Rent Better application. How it works is you download the Rent Better application. It's available on the App Store and the Google Play Store. You create an account, which is a very simple process, and then you create a schedule. And a schedule basically means how much you pay and when you're supposed to pay to the landlord. Then we break it down and show you how much you could be paying per day on your rent according to how much you've created. So let's say you've created your schedule is 300,000. That means every day if you paid 9,500 shillings, your rent will be cleared easily at the end of the month. So again, we even continue giving you simple notifications every day. Hi, today you've not put in your rent, something like that, to remind you so that you're actively involved in your rent per day. I mean, you sleep in that house per day or you work from that place per day. Why are you paying only once a month? You can do it daily and reduce your burden significantly. So when you look at rent better, you might think it's only for the tenants, but actually we have a side that helps landlords significantly. So for a landlord, of course, terms and conditions apply, but what we promise you is we can guarantee you your rent collected in the exact amount of money you expect every single month without fail. So what we do is we enter into an agreement with you and say, me, I want to receive my rent on the 30th. And every 30th of the month, we will give you the full amount of rent. So even if someone has not fully paid their rent, for us, we'll give you that money. Even if one of your units is vacant, we'll still give you that money. Definitely a few terms and conditions apply, but generally this is something that most landlords cannot collect 100% of their rent every month guaranteed. And as Rent Better, we give you that guarantee. So we started Rent Better. We released our first version of the app November this month. And so far we've had over 300 people downloading the application and 10 landlords already onboarded. And more people are coming in, much more people are coming in as we go. So 1 month has been very good and expecting more to keep growing as we go forward.
On that note, we've come to the end of this week's edition of Money and Market. Thank you for being part of the show. Now, from me and team, we'd like to wish you a very good evening, but we want to keep the conversation going. Like we always say, businesses are going concern. It never stops. So drop us a line on the addresses on your screen. We are on the digital platforms. We want to hear from you and keep the conversation going. Until next time, I've been your host, Charles Boji from Yan Team. Once again, good evening and God bless.